What is going on, guys? It's Adam. Tonight we're going to be talking about a ton of subjects, including meteors, and why is Twitter completely changing the feed when you look them up. Not only that, we'll be talking about a power out situation that DHS is talking about right now. We'll be right back right after this. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. And just to add one, if you want to use some of the music from the show, please ask for permission. All right, thank you. All right. What is going on, guys? My name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Just to remind you, if you're missing notifications from the algorithm gods, you can always go to our website at marfooglenews.com and sign up for notifications. You can also sign up for our email alerts. If we know something is going to go down for 100% sure, we're going to send it through that system. Not only that, we're working alongside huge creators to actually send you notifications using this system. So again, you can go to marfooglenews.com and sign up for the email alerts. We're going to have articles written by some bigger names, and that will be used through that. And then if you want to follow along tonight, we actually have it organized by thumbnail. So if you go to this thumbnail on our website, you will see that we have every single article, every single tweet, every single video that we show here will be on our website. You can actually read along on a second device, or you can go back and actually go through and fact check us. At the end of the show, this will be updated to have all of the callers. So if you call in live right now at 224-400-MARF, your info will become right there on the page. So without further ado, let's introduce Dex. Dex, can we do a sound check, and how are you doing?
Hello, Adam. I'm here, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing pretty good.
So,
how about you?
By the way, you know, some of this stuff that we haven't even been able to talk about yet, as far as the meteors, as far as I was tracking this all day, and a lot of people were talking about a meteor last night. I actually posted on Twitter that there was a huge flash here in Washington that was seen all over the state. There was social media posts on Facebook about it, and I ended up tweeting all of those. In fact, if you look at my Twitter from last night, you'll see I posted that and everyone talking about it. So just to show you real quick, there was, so not only one, not two, but at least three worldwide were seen, and these were huge fireballs. These aren't shooting stars. Now, this isn't one of them. This is actually back from June. But a lot of people said that this one is actually what the one that went 15 hours, or I'm sorry, about 20 hours ago, that looked like that, only it was much lower. So again, this was the UK Meteor Network says lots of fireball reports coming in right now. That was 5 hours ago. Around that same time, there was tons of actual people saying, cool, I just saw a giant meteor. And then it says, huge bright orange fireball meteor streaking overhead in a northeasterly direction, viewed in Lynx Coast. Anyone else catch that? This was, again, that same meteor. So around 6 hours ago, there was a big meteor. That's not the only one, though. Around 20 hours ago, or I would say 17 hours ago, there was another huge one. Again, just to see this, even 2 hours ago, this is two separate incidences. Oh man, I just messed it up again. Patriot Me says Marfoogle huge. Go to Hoogers. Huge meteor sighting over Flint, Michigan. Run outside, look up someone, get a video. Again, other folks actually did see this and emailed me. So we're going to try to get the videos of that up. Now, I also want to point out that yesterday's, it says, let's see here. Yesterday's huge flash across the sky about 20 hours ago now. And this is so crazy because people saw the same thing in Europe. So the same thing that people are seeing in Washington, people saw in Europe about 20 hours ago. Huge flash seen across Washington, and power buzzed and went off and on several times. And get this timing. I'm telling you guys, who knows if it's even a meteor. I know that some of them are, people can see these fireballs, But what if they were not a meteor? What if there's something else up there with Space Force? It says, one person said, lights flashed for a second in Renton Highlands, but didn't lose power. Somebody said Fairwood 2. Again, this picture shows several people actually talking about it. And then it says, my power flickered once. This one says, flickered here in Cascade Vista 2. And it said, and then on this picture, check this out. Somebody said that King 5 sent it out as an alert. It says it was announced on King 5 as an alert for what exactly, no one knows. So lots of weird stuff here as far as in the last 2 days, people have been seeing fireballs and then, of course, flashes in the sky right before power goes out. What do you think that is, folks? Just saying. And then the story that we're going to get to later, we're going to talk about DHS bracing for a potential EP. We'll get to that. We're going to jump right into the news without further ado. Again, make sure to follow along on our website. You can go to marfooglenews.com. Now, also to talk about earthquakes, because a lot of people have been talking about it since there have been several weird and various places that are having these weird earthquakes, including Florida. Of course, we had the giant earthquake in Idaho, which was over a 6.0. So lots of just weird and weird-sized earthquakes. It says superheated rocks are behind earthquakes on San Andreas Fault line, new study claims. It says that researchers say that the findings of the study published on the 2nd of September in the journal Science Advances are very important because they will enable scientists to understand how and when earthquakes may occur. Superheated rocks deep inside the Earth are driving the seismic activity on the San Andreas Fault, which a lot of people know the San Andreas Fault because it's home to the Rock movie that everybody talks about, which is San Andreas, which was super over-exaggerated. They made it look like California was going to fall off into the water. They made it to where that scene in that movie, they made it to where it's going to be two multiple 10.0 earthquakes, and it was not one but two, which is really weird, though, that the fact that they, in that movie, I believe it was San Andreas, that made it out to be two earthquakes, because now we're finding about these boomerang earthquakes. They actually have proof now that an earthquake of that size can not only go up and cause, say, an 8.2 earthquake, but on its way back down, it will actually boomerang and then come back. So imagine going through a horrible earthquake, it stops, and then it comes back. That's what a boomerang earthquake would do. It says that one of the most volatile tectonic plates in the world, San Andreas Fault, has superheated rocks deep inside, and the Earth is driving these crazy earthquakes. And it says, located between Los Angeles and San Francisco, the area experiences mild tremors every few months, while earthquakes measuring magnitude 6 on the Richter scale have shaken the area at a fairly regular interval, with the last one occurring in 2004. It says the researchers have come up with a new approach to the mechanics of tremors, looking at the issue from the bottom up instead of the top to the bottom. They focused on the rocks that sit deep below Earth's surface, and it appears that they simulated the activity of the fault using mathematical models. It says laboratory experiments with rocks and data gathered from the Parkfield section. The test showed that after a major earthquake occurs, for a moment, the tectonic plates at the fault remain in harmony, gliding past each other. But this is actually the calm before the storm. Nobody likes hearing that sentence. Motion across chunks of granite and quartz generates heat, which eventually reaches 650 degrees Fahrenheit, so hotter than your stove can go, and boom. It says the extreme temperatures make the rocks melt and they generate more friction and more heat, which in turn results in more rapid movements that trigger these big boom earthquakes. They say it's just like rubbing our hands together in cold weather to heat them up. It says faults heat them up when they slide. The fault movements can be caused by large changes in temperature. This can create positive feedback that makes them slide even faster, eventually generating an earthquake, said Sylvan Barbut, assistant professor at Earth Sciences at USC Dorn's Life. So as far as the earthquake goes and the science that they're getting behind it, they're trying to make predictions based on very dated science. So there's a lot of scientists that I've even talked to that say that they are focusing all their time on research and development on trying to find anything they possibly can get that could even buy us 10 seconds or 1 second or 3 seconds. And that's kind of what Shake Alert, the system that they're working on now, is about. Even if it gave you 2 seconds alert, it would give you possibly enough time to go to, say, a doorway or under a table, instead of just getting rocked so hard that you get knocked on your ass on the ground. Again, they say not if when the big one comes, and I'm talking the big one that will rock the entire West Coast, you're going to be shifted 45 feet in one direction with the Cascadia. That's going to be bigger than San Andreas and go all the way from Vancouver down to California. That earthquake will affect the entire country. The entire country will most likely have side effects such as losing power. So again, for those people saying, "Oh, you talk about Cascadia like it's going to affect all of us," it will. In fact, it has the possibility of causing other 8.0, 9.0 earthquakes other places in the world with an antipode. They say it is so large that it will change the time of the day. I mean, it will either shorten our day or something else, just like the 2004 and the 2011 earthquakes that hit Japan. It's the same kind of earthquake. So again, they're trying to use this as a science to actually detect these things and give us a few seconds. An earthquake-generated tsunami could quickly inundate parts of Washington state, new simulation shows. Isn't this funny timing? Right after I cover this, they start putting out stuff. Again, this stuff is coming out more and more, and people are going to understand how bad this truly is going to be. Some of the people that are saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal," acting like this thing is a big deal. Are you kidding? A lot of people just don't care about other human beings at all anymore. That is a general thing that I've seen lately. I'm not even talking about some of the stuff that's been going on with the pandemic or anything. I'm talking about millions of people all in a few minutes, perishing. That's how bad this is going to be. And you are going to know somebody. If you are on the East Coast and you know somebody who lives on the West Coast, there is a good chance that they will be involved. It says the new simulations focus on the Cascadia subduction zone. They showed a large earthquake could send waves up to 20 feet high on shore. Officials hope that the videos are a wake-up call for local communities. And when I say wake-up call, am I just, 2 weeks ago, have I not told this? The entire town doesn't know anything about it. They are choosing tourism dollars over actually telling their people what to do. They are choosing tourism dollars over actually doing something about it. They're sitting there and arguing about how they should make or who should pay for these evacuation towers instead of making them. It is one of the biggest things ever because, watch, if it happens next week or if it happens tomorrow, all of those people are gone. Not 6,000, but say on Labor Day weekend, 500,000 people underwater with no escape. Imagine even 6,000, just the population trying to get out a one-lane road. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Most people there have basically accepted their doom and said that if you hear the tsunami alert, there is no luck for you. You are gone. You are basically dead. It says parts of Washington state could be inundated with water if a major earthquake struck offshore and generated a tsunami, according to new simulations by the State Department of Natural Resources. In a worst-case scenario, the tsunami would come so fast and so suddenly that residents in some area would have very little to no time to evacuate. Karina Allen, Chief Hazards Geology Chief for the agency, is among those working on the detailed simulations of what might happen if a major earthquake strikes in a Cascadia subduction zone. A 621-mile fault line that runs offshore from northern Vancouver Island to Cape Mendocino, California. Just let that set in. It goes from Canada to California. And people say it's not a big deal. The highest modeled inundation so far has been in the southwest Washington at Damon Point. This is right where this is where I took the photos of the birds that I posted on Twitter. This is in Ocean Shores. And it says there's about to be There is expected to be about 60 feet of flooding above the previously dry surface. It says neighborhoods in Seattle and Tacoma could also be flooded, although they would have more time to evacuate. It says, we hope that these simulations can really help people to plan for the events before they happen. Tsunamis most often happen when large earthquakes occur under the ocean and near the shoreline, pushing seawater upward, and it says into a wave that grows and steadily comes towards the shallow water, according to the DNR. Earthquakes that generate tsunamis are usually 7.0 or higher and are centered less than 62 miles below the Earth's surface. The new simulations use a magnitude 9.0, thousands of times stronger than a 7. It says as the triggering event, which then creates a tsunami that could travel as fast as 500 miles per hour over water and crash into land with waves up to 20 feet high. The coastal areas, in turn, would have already subsided due to the earthquake. We're talking, 2 or 3 story high waves coming at you at 500 miles an hour. Think about a car driving 60 miles an hour and hitting you in the face. Now imagine a Formula One car hitting you in the face, and then imagine a slow jet hitting you in the face. That's how hard the water is going to hit the very first people on the beach. It says the last earthquake that big in the Cascadia subduction zone struck in the year 1700, according to the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. Geological evidence shows that such large earthquakes have happened in the zone at least 7 times in the past 3,500 years, or about every 400 to 600 years. By other math, they actually show that on average it's about 240 years, and we are now at 320, which would put us about 80 years overdue. Even if it is best case scenario, we're looking at in the next lifetime. So again, this town has no chance. Damon Point is at the very end of Ocean Shores, and it is really sad that no one will escape. So it's just funny that they're covering this. As far as Dex, have you noticed, because we're looking at the news every day, have you noticed just in the last couple weeks they're all of a sudden talking about this? I wonder if we can have this simulation, trying to see if we can actually show this. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. And
Adam, I thought it was odd that this not odd, but I did notice that the conversation in the mainstream is starting to trend more in this direction. And I was pretty impressed when I saw this article. I'm like, oh,
yeah, well, because we're calling it out, and
yeah,
I guarantee you, there's with that video at 60,000 views, all of a sudden people grab onto it again. That the kind of people that watch, it's not the number, it's the kind of people. So look at this simulation. I'm telling you, this is why I say it's a big deal. It's not just going to affect the people on the West Coast. You're talking about knocking out Sirius stations and taking people out.
When you're
that will really matter. Let's turn that down, and then I'm gonna look at this. Check this out.
But tsunamis have hit Washington.
Let me see if I can get.
So the state released this simulator to show the effects, and
I want to almost play that.
It's if that long to escape before a wall of water rushed in. Southwest Washington would basically be washed away.
Okay, do you guys see this? Okay, this is land. All of this is land.
And models show that.
Look at this. San Juan, all of this. Orcas Island. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. So check this out. As far as major earthquake along Cascadia subduction zone. And now they're talking about it. I'm telling you, it's coming to where the point that they are going to look so bad after this happens. Now, scientists are telling them that you have to do something now. Chris Goldfinger, the lead seismologist, the man who has the TED Talk, the one that I interviewed for an hour, he is one of 40 scientists in the entire world that is working on it. And they are basically saying that they need to get their butt moving now. Some think that it is locked and loaded and ready to go. You're talking about knocking down the entire West Coast and then knocking down power structures, all sorts of things that will affect half of the country. 21 states are preparing. So beyond that, even if Cascadia does not happen, I'm going to show you something else. And we've been talking about this just like we talked about pandemics 10 months ago. If you look back, again, we're not trying to take credit for it, but we did tell you guys. It's, unfortunately, people didn't listen and they didn't believe our credibility or this or that. I hope that you, if you've not checked, we actually do a bibliography and we back up everything we say. As far as if it's not, we'll clarify. DHS braces for, quote, potential EMP attack as nears. Now, you guys can read that, hopefully. It says the U.S. Department of Homeland Security released a new report warning about a, quote, potential electromagnetic pulse attack against the U.S. It says DHS combats potential electromagnetic pulse. This was September 3rd, 2020. So talk about new, and we told you too. And luckily, we have some people that are in the Foogle fam, and luckily we have some friends that luckily told us that there were going to be some major movements in the EMP field as far as all of this. We were about a year ahead telling you guys to prep. So nobody can really say that we didn't warn against any of this kind of thing. Now, I hope it never happens. That's like the first thing I'll say right now. I hope it never happens again, but that's not what they are saying is being planned. It says DHS warning published Thursday, or about 60 days until the U.S. On November 3rd, indicates that there are, quote, evolving threats against the America homeland, most recently highlighting efforts to combat an EMP, which could disrupt the electrical grid and potentially damage electronics. It says the department released an EMP status report via the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA. It says that, quote, key actions to address unknown EMP-related vulnerabilities to critical infrastructure. As you know, the president just last year and the year before that was talking about this, and I believe last year in 2019 signed that order to harden our grid. We told you that. We covered it. It said that was right after, in that same report that made him sign that order, it said that every American should have 6 months to a year of food. And now we're coming up on it. What's weird about this is they're including the election. And they're talking about November as a potential time frame. So if you are one of the people that think, oh, just wait until then because all of it's going to go down then, that's what it sounds like. So we don't set time dates, and we hope it never happens. I really do. But if every single American actually prepared, had 6 months to a year of food, and actually looked into things like EMP Shield, which is actually working to protect DHS. I mean, if you're thinking about the warning that comes from DHS, who are they calling? Again, EMP Shield has worked with them. They're also on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid, which has their own grid. So you've got both the grids in the United States calling these guys. So again, EMP protection up to all three phases, E1, E2, and E3. It can actually protect you against solar flares. Even if you don't get this through us, we highly recommend that you go around us. Go to the website directly. Go through a different creator. We told you. That's all we can say. MarfoogleNews.com/EMP. It is a veteran-owned business. It's 100% American-made. There it is. All right, we're going to take our first caller. Then we're going to get into Hez. Another thing. Do you guys have all of your candles? Do you have stuff if the power goes out? We are completely dependent on power, period. And what if that is just ceased to be? That's what I don't think people have done. And my audience, and you guys know, the Foogle fam knows, you guys aren't afraid of that when this happens. And most of you have actually went out and tried to prepare. This isn't to scare you. This is to alert you to it. And if it does happen, you don't sit there and freeze and you know what to do. If you don't think about these things in advance, you're going to be screwed. All right, we're going to go over to the chat here in a second. First, we're going to take our call. It looks like we've got several callers lined up already. Let me go back to this. Bam, bam. Seems. Hold on one sec. It looks like we have Les, a.k.a. Homestead Do-It-Yourself. And then I've got a channel link here. Les, are you there? And it looks like we'll get him in here in a second.
Yeah, we're working on that right now, Adam. Hang on.
No problem. Serafina, thank you. I appreciate your support. Okay, Les, it sounds like we
Can
got
you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. So what is going on? And you are a prepper, it looks like.
Yes, I'm a homestead DIY prepper. Me and my wife, I guess you got the channel up there, but I just kind of wanted to let y'all know that everything that you're talking about there with the candles and stuff like that, you're absolutely correct. And I encourage people to, go out and get, if they all they can afford is beans and rice, just get some beans and rice, because we don't know what's coming, y'all.
No, I agree with you.
On our homestead DIY, we go through different. We do raised bed gardens. We do canning, pressure canning, water bath canning, dehydrating all different kinds of vegetables, meat, and we cook some potatoes and dehydrated potatoes, so we'll have instant potatoes. All kinds of stuff, Adam. It's called Homestead DIY with L&T. We're trying to get the 1,000 mark so we can go live. I'm not looking to do anything, what a lot of YouTubers are trying to do. I am just trying to help people out, to be perfectly honest with you.
No. And I see that. And a lot of people forget that, Les, that you have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live. It actually changed right after the New Zealand event, which of course changed YouTube forever, which they actually made it a requirement because they didn't want people just starting a random channel and going live. So if you guys can love mob these guys, that would be great. Looks like they are serious, especially by this video. Look at that. You guys got a lot of stuff there.
We got a lot of stuff going on, and in the caption, it's I say in there, our channel is a roller coaster ride. We'll help you with your garden. We'll teach you how to dehydrate, how to can. We got another lady that helps us out. She's on she comes on your channel a lot. Her name is Gloria White. Her YouTube channel is called Straight Up the Middle. If y'all give her some love too, she's always on to help everybody out. She's a great lady, but we're really trying to reach that 1,000 mark, and we need some Marfoogle love, Adam, and I know that you could do it for us. And if there's anything you need to ask me about,
Les, let me ask you a question. As far as canning foods, the stuff that we're looking on this video, you've got a lot of stuff canned. How long does that last without going bad?
It can last up to several years. It just depends on what you can. Like the meats, they say up to 5 years. And we've had some canned meats that we've opened up that's been past that, and it's been just fine. And we've canned deer meat, beef, hamburger meat, chicken. I love canned chicken.
Well, how do you find out?
Canned chicken.
How do you find out if the meat is good? I mean, do you eat it and just take a guess if it's
no
by the smell?
Actually, it's just like anything else. You want to smell it. If it has any kind of funky odor or weird odor, don't eat it. Just throw it out. And if it doesn't look right, if the meat just doesn't have the right color, you just don't feel comfortable with it, don't eat it.
Can I ask you a question?
But 90% of the time, yes, sir?
Well, no, I didn't want to interrupt you, but what about smoking things? If you smoke meat, is that even nutritionally a good idea? Or is that does it take all the nutrition out and there's no point in keeping it? I would think smoked meat would last longer.
there's always going to be nutritional value in anything you can just about. I think that just smoking meat and then canning it, then you have meat that's flavored, but you can also add other ingredients in there to enhance the nutritional values. You can add celery, or put celery or carrots or onions in with your canned meat, which also creates nutritional value to help out, if you understand what I'm saying there.
Yeah, no.
So,
it looks like you guys do this full time. I mean, if you guys can see what is on screen, this takes a lot of hours. These guys are serious preppers. We see a lot of people that are more prepper on the prepper side of having kind of tools, knives, and things like this, and different everyday carry type things. But this is hardcore. This is what people unfortunately have to put their time into if they want to be serious. This is definitely a step above what we have done so far. We've done about 2 shelves of that, and we've only gotten pre-canned stuff that we had to buy from somebody like you that has actually canned it for us. So this is something I am super interested in, and I want to get canning myself, because we shouldn't be paying somebody else to do what you are doing for us.
And there's something else I want to say. It is getting very, very hard to buy canning supplies, jars, lids, the stuff that you could just go down to the store and buy now. You can't do it anymore. You have to order it offline, and you're not getting the quality product that you were getting like when you went to the hardware store to buy your lids and your jars. You're getting off-name brand stuff that, I mean, it still works. I mean, it'll still work in a pinch, but it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and we don't understand why. I've been married to my wife for 27 years, and she's been doing this we just started doing the canning stuff within the last few years, but both of us are seeing more and more stuff just disappearing off the shelves, and I don't know if more people are just starting to get into canning or what's going on.
So I want to point this out to everybody, what Les is saying too. Not just the food on the shelf. Yeah, shelves are stacked right now. But when you go to get ball jars or any of the brand name ball jars, whatever brands are the good, they're not there. So they're ending up going to Amazon or something, which Amazon won't exist if there's a major disaster. Any internet canning supply store, they're going to be gone. And if you can't go to your local little shops and get it, then you're basically stuck. You're not going to be able to can. So get the stuff that even if you're not canning yet, go and get the cans, just like ammo or anything else. Stuff is running out, and that's a sign to me that we're getting to a serious point. The people in the know are doing this. Yes.
Also, back into the dehydrating part of it, we just recently found out you could dehydrate watermelon. And that is absolutely delicious. I didn't know you could dehydrate watermelon because it's just full of water. And we did that, and we were so surprised at how good it was. And when you dehydrate stuff, or, mainly just dehydrating stuff, it shrinks down. We bought 15 pounds of potatoes and diced them up and dehydrated them and got all 15 pounds of potatoes to fit in a couple of little mason jars. So now you have 2 little mason jars full of dehydrated potatoes that you can put on a shelf rather than a big 15-pound bag of potatoes that's going to go bad sitting on your shelf. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you'll have, I'm sorry, did 2 jars weigh 15 pounds, or, I mean, is it the same coming out?
No, it takes all of the water out of the potatoes, which makes them shrink very, very small. We dice up the potatoes, but when you dehydrate them, they shrink so small, you can get that whole 15-pound bag down to just a few ounces because you just totally dehydrated all the water out of them, and you can put the potatoes, and all you have to do is just a little warm water, hot water that you pour back over the potatoes, and it rehydrates them. And we tried it several times, and it works excellent. And not just potatoes. I've heard that we were going to have a shortage on onions and garlic, so we stocked up on onions and garlic, and we canned some onions and garlic, and we also dehydrated onions and garlic. So the onions shrunk down really small. We got, I know it was over 10 pounds of onions in a quart-sized jar. Now, the jars don't weigh 10 pounds. The jars just weigh a few ounces. because all the water and the stuff is gone. But also, another life source that y'all really need to think about is water. You can can water, and when you can water, the water becomes sterile, and you can use it to treat wounds. And if you don't have a water source, if the SHTF or however you say it happens, and if you're on a community well and all the power grid goes down and you can't get water, how are you going to get water? So in one of my videos, I did a hand well. I hand dug a well with a device I bought off of Amazon. It only took a few hours to do. I went down 25 feet, and now we have drinkable water. We have to, if you have to boil it or sterilize it, you still have water. At least you have life.
Well, Les, we're going to all check out your channel here. I'm checking out several videos on here. I already clicked on 3. Thank you for calling in, and I'm sure the Marfoogle family will be over there in no time. Thank you so much for calling. We ran out of time. But Les, please call again and give us some tips in a couple weeks, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, you guys have a good night. You're already at almost 700 subscribers, so probably by tomorrow you guys will be able to live stream. You just got to get those hours.
Oh, all right. I hope so. God bless y'all.
All right, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
God bless you too. All right, and then that was Homestead Do-It-Yourself with L&T. Obviously, his wife and himself are pretty serious about this. But I like that his videos talk about the stuff that, there's not a lot of videos out on. Actually digging a well or something like, like this, or canning. There are canner YouTubers out there, and I've watched a few of them in the last few weeks, and some of them just don't have the information right, or they kind of assume everything about it. You have to teach somebody how to do it from scratch, and there's so many different kinds of foods that have different tricks to them that you need multiple videos for that whole, that should be its own niche, is canning. All right, we're going to get it back into it, but thank you guys. World News, Matrix 45, DLive 420, dehydrates potatoes, onion, green peppers, Kelly T2334. The onions and the green peppers and salt. People don't think about salt is a huge deal. Without salt, we would have a huge problem if we didn't have salt. So make sure to stock up on salt and things like this. Susan Donahue, if I were a betting woman, my money would be on #Team Humanity. Thank you, Susan Donahue. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. Hawk Risa, thank you for following. Will Avila, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. John Harvard, thank you for following. And Serafina, thank you for your support there. Sealed by the Blood says, Jesus loves you. He died for all sins. And believe in the gospel of salvation, Corinthians 15:1-4. And then we've got Deborah Bear Barber. Thank you. Just noticed that you actually went over on Patreon as well. Thank you for your generous support of us, and we appreciate you joining Patreon as well. William and then Ed Brown, thank you for being the last one out last night. Reading the Gospel, I appreciate your diamonds, and then 5 of Cups, and Doug82, As I Breathe, and Dixie Doe, thank you guys for the lemons. Adam, did you ever call back the caller from Thursday, Callie Kitkat? I cannot talk about that, actually. I tried. We will talk about that most likely later. And then we've got Hez. We'll just call it Hezzy, okay? You guys know how to read. Hezzy was on the verge of conflict with Hezzy and Izzy, minutes after the Beirut blast. These are all filtered, get rid of people, just, get rid of their YouTube channel kind of words. Field Commander says, last month, Hezzy leader Hassan Nasrallah warned that Izzy would pay the price if it turns out that Tel Aviv was behind the powerful blast that ripped through Lib's capital, Beirut, on 4 of August. It says killing at least 190 people. It says the state has repeatedly denied any involvement in the explosion, offering humanitarian aid to Lebanon. It says that the nation has cited Hezzy members Abu Karim and Ebi Naim as saying that the Lebanon-based Shia militant group was on the edge of conflict shortly after the deadly 4 August explosion hit the Lebanese capital. Isn't that a coincidence? I'm sure that it is strictly just a coincidence. You know, they're nothing to do with each other. Of course, I'm saying that and my lips are moving, but the captions underneath will hopefully say something different. And then we have the ISS still leaking air as NASA races to locate the mysterious hole. Dex, do you remember when I covered the where the Russian astronaut like put his thumb in it, and all of the Earthers were like, this is BS. First off, if there was a hole and they put their thumb in it, people were saying, you know, wouldn't it just suck you out of the thing, or wouldn't you turn into jam and go through that hole? I saw tons of people, you know, saying that it's complete BS. They ended up fixing it with like gum and like tape or something. I forget, but do you remember that? And now there's another one. It seems kind of. Oh yeah,
I remember
weird.
that one. That one took a little bit of time, but then everybody was like up in arms over how did it happen? Where did it come from? You know, was there some sort of sabotage or error, or did it come from the outside and they didn't know why? Now here we are again, same scenario, right? And I think we even read at one point that some of the astronauts had to spend the night in another section that they don't normally sleep in while they were trying to solve or figure out what was going on.
Well, just say it's actually floating up there and these people are up there. Would that not be the most terrifying thing in the world, or off the world, I guess you would say?
Yeah, I would think that you having a hole in your vehicle when that would be catastrophic would be pretty scary. Obviously, this is a very small hole, because if it was larger, it would definitely be catastrophic. But I would be more worried about not only where it is, but can it grow and grow quickly, because that would be the scary part.
What also interests me is they say that, you know, not a lot of these astronauts go up there a lot. They can only spend so much time up there, and then they have to come back, and then they replace. So they say it's a constantly revolving kind of platform of people. So you don't really get somebody with a super amount of experience up there to handle stuff. It says the cabin breach disclosed on August 20th has forced the station's 3 crew members into its Russian segment while the USS agency investigates. Huh. 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 Too long? Probably. In other news, engineers tested jetliner where you ride in the wings. What a trip would that be? I would think that the ride would go a little like this. But I could be wrong. It says, for the first time ever, a scale model of the Flying V, an experimental jetliner that seats passengers inside of its wings, took flight during an uncrewed test. It says the results of a Flying V test have been long awaited. It says that the plane's unusual design makes it 20% more fuel efficient than most advanced planes on the market. According to New Atlas, it says, which has covered the project previously. But as with any unusual experimental design, it remains unclear how well it will actually work in practice. It says that even if it was or wasn't a real Flying V, the successful flight test of a scaled-down model is a pretty big deal. Even the engineers helping design it weren't sure how well the new plane would fare during takeoff and landing. It says, quote, one of our worries was that the aircraft might have some difficulty lifting off, since previous calculations had shown that rotation could be an issue. Rolf Voss, a propulsion researcher at Delft University of Technology, says, quote, the team optimized the scaled flight model to prevent the issue, but you need to fly to know for sure. So it says the largest issue that the team ran into during what Voss called somewhat of a rough landing was turbulence. It says when your flight lands, you might notice that the plane tends to tilt back and forth a bit as it lands up with the runway. Okay, sorry, I would not fly in the wings of something No. And where they say, oh, no, it's completely normal for it to be bouncing up and down. And, oh, yeah, when you land, it's going to feel like you're dying. No, thanks. What do you guys think? Would you guys ride this plane? I probably wouldn't. Would you, Nosdick, Vibron, That Chowky Gal, Tower Bear? What about you? Dovey0922, Lionsheart, Cheeky Lady, thank you guys for all showing up tonight. We've got Oscar Antonio de la Paz, says greetings from Texas. Thank you for your support tonight. And then Carol Shiflett, John Harwood, thank you guys for following tonight. Gem1111, thank you for subscribing. And Backwoods Ingenuity, thank you for being there yesterday. Paul Shaggy, thank you for receiving a subscription from Heaven's Calling. And then Red in the Valley. And, of course, we have MRSA1 again tonight. Thank you so much for your support. You were actually our number one for almost the entire show last night. And then Gone Girl as well. Thank you for your massive support last night. Priscilla, I watched a number of preppers, all interesting. Techno Gypsy, thank you for subbing. And then Psycher, Red 1967, Linda K, and Just a Millie. Kiaja Flygirl, thank you as well for your support tonight. Hexagonal Peach and MS1110723. Thank you guys all for being here. We're going to get our next caller up, but at first, if you guys want to help the channel, if you have not protected yourself against cyber attackers and cyber loggers, then you should check out NordVPN. In fact, you can use the code Marfoogle to save. You can actually get their best plan upwards of 70% off for 3 years if you go with that plan. MarfuggleNews.com/VPN, and it will actually help you not get logged by Chinese government or any other government out there, and you'll get extra Netflix movies. All right, Dax, if you want to pull in the next caller, let's get this rig going. And by the way,
okay, Adam, and our next caller, is going to be Jason, aka Berserkers.
Okay, by the way, Jason's got a video about the moon here. So, Jason, do you want to explain this video? You say it's located on the moon.
Yeah, how you going, Mark?
How are you?
You there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm good. Just got some pictures of the surface of the moon. Some interesting formations. The first video is on the 26th of August. If you got that one there.
I do. So what are we looking at right here? And is this your video? I have permission to play it, correct?
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, I've got a few timestamps. So the first one's 35 seconds.
Okay, thank you. I'm super happy. By the way, if you call in, please do that. It helps out a lot. Okay, so 35 seconds. We're zooming in.
Yeah. And if you sort of let it play, it'll come across a few formations that look like some kind of towers. If you can see that, it's like a square tower with four triangular shaped objects on the top of it.
Oh my gosh! I didn't see it for a second. It was like a negative. Positive. I was looking at the wrong.
Yeah, it can be hard to see. Yeah, there's other types of formations there that quite interesting, quite different shapes.
Well, look at the unnatural kind of V shape right there. What I'm looking at is looks like almost like an entrance to something. What a weird shape.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of weird shapes on that, man.
Can I ask? So this is from Australia. So you see a little bit of a different moon than we do here in, say, Washington, USA. As far as what camera are you using for this?
Yeah, it's a Nikon P1000. And most of it's in 4K. It's obviously some nights are better than others. It depends on the atmosphere and obviously the clouds. But you can get right in real close on some of those craters. And obviously there's some really good formations on there to have a look at. In this video, if you go to 4 minutes and 12 seconds,
Wow.
there's an actual video of it. So not just pictures, which may be a little bit clearer if you can pick it out.
It's really impressive what you are capable with, what your camera's capable of.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm blown away all the time by the amount of pictures and the quality of the pictures it can take. It's incredible.
Can I ask, what is the buzzing? It's like it goes blurry. Is that the focus, or is that the atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with the atmospheric, like an atmospheric wave. So sometimes, it's quite good, and other times it tends to be a bit like that. The only other thing, when you're focused in that far with these cameras, they, any kind of little breeze, just a whisper, can make that lens shake. So,
do you do manual focus when you're doing this, or do you let it do autofocus? Wow.
A lot of the time it can be autofocus.
Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an interest I got into. Obviously, a few mates want to argue about the moon and what's up there, and I just thought I'd try and find out.
Well, it's mesmerizing. I'm sure the audience agrees. Do you guys think that this is... I mean, I'm watching it on a bigger screen. If you're watching it on the phone, you might not get the same appreciation for it. But some of the shots are so crystal clear. Wow.
Yeah, I found that some TVs can't handle it as well. A lot of the good phones over here, like your Samsungs, have really good quality screens.
Holy moly!
It's
Hold
quite
on.
interesting.
I wasn't even. Let me go back real quick. I'm gonna play it in 4K. You guys are gonna get it in 1080, but let me see if I can even play it at that. I just realized I was in about
here,
360. So hold on. Let's see here. Well, thank you so much for calling in. This is Berserker Survival. We've love mobbed him before. We should love mob him again. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That's a P1000. How expensive are those? Are those pretty pricey, or?
If you're talking Australian dollars, I think you're talking about 1,400 to 1,500.
Jeez, that is amazing.
And then, it's just amazing views. There's a lot of videos there. If you scroll down the thumbnails, most of the formations that I capture are on the front of the thumbnail. So there's plenty to look at. And every night that moon's in a different position, different angle, offers different light.
Okay,
it's quite amazing.
Let me ask you a question now. People have been commenting on my videos saying that now the moon is turning clockwise. I never really paid attention to that. Have you noticed that the moon is going a different direction, or do you think that it's just normal?
No, I haven't noticed that. It's been quite normal.
All right. Well, thank you, Berserker Survival, and it looks like his specialty now. I mean, this is an awesome place to go check out the moon. I mean, look at the quality of it. And then at home, you guys can actually do full 4K. His video on a desktop, I think it will only let you go up to 1080, but on the desktop, it let me go all the way up to 4K. So, well, thank you so much, Berserker. I hope a lot of Foogle family come over and keep spotting on it. I guarantee you, if you keep it out there every night, you will catch something crazy.
Oh, there's plenty of crazy stuff out there flying around in the sky. Thanks very much, Mark. It's a great show, and I really appreciate what you do.
Well, I appreciate viewers like you and creators like you, so thank you. That was Berserker Survival. You guys, makes me want a P1000, but that is too cool. As far as some of the shot, I mean, it is really mesmerizing to watch because, I mean, it's the moon. It's something that we've grown up with and just kind of accept, but we look out at a floating white ball that just sits there and takes impacts from asteroids every day. What a crazy thing. Let's see here. Or it could be a satellite. It could be a base for the Illumidonkeys. Okay, we've got Linda K. Thank you so much for your support tonight. Thank you for the lemons, Grateful Osmond. We've got a lot of Australian watchers, such as Berserker Survival and Australian Patriot and all sorts of folks. Mad Tarts, we've got Psycher, 1Adam12, Paul Shaggy. Priscilla says, I watch a number of preppers. That's awesome. And then, let's see here. We've got Glow White. And Gone Girl says, hi, Foogle fam. Much love. Thank you for coming in tonight, Gone Girl. No, not hell, somebody says. Let's see here. Awesome Pics of the Moon, says Big Shot Ben. And then Kelly2334 and New Meds for panic attacks kicking my ass. You know, if you have panic attacks, that's probably the worst. You know, I used to have them, and I started doing breathing exercises. No, not hell, but F no. Won't catch me in a plane. That would be dumber than a box of rocks. Talking about the V-shaped plane. Yeah, I don't blame you. Lion's Heart, thank you for your support tonight. Let's see here. We've got Duck Hawk, Gone Girl again, Kahaja Fly Girl, and Zippy Moons. Haven't seen you in a couple days here. Texas Rob 49 and a Yakstar says, got my EMP shield. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, a Yakstar. Part of that went to us, so thank you so much for supporting us. Verbal Venom, thank you for being here. And Texas Rob, thanks for gifting out subs to people. Ice Pick Lobotomy. Ice Pick Lobotomy. That's a very interesting name for sure. Jennifer Cervantes, thank you for just joining over on Patreon while we were on the show here. And then Shines, we've got Carol Shiflett for joining. And Prep for Life, thank you. That's huge. Marf, Dex, and fam, thank you for welcoming my son and I with open arms. All of you brought a father and son closer. My son Aiden will remember last night for the rest of his life. Aiden thinks Dex is his best friend now. So awesome. Well, he is his best friend. Dex is an awesome guy. I'm glad that he got to talk with Aiden last night. If you didn't see last night's show, little Aiden is, I want to say 10, but little Aiden and his dad are doing a prepping channel together. Again, it's Prep for Life and Sons. And then Trip E, love the show. I got an EMP shield because of you. Thanks for the info. Love from Colorado. I'm super glad that people are actually doing it. Even if you don't go through us or don't want to go through our link, even tell us then. Keith Saber, and thank you so much for your support. John Raxness, Flyers lost. At least we still got hashtag Team Humanity. That's awesome, John Raxness. Someone other than Susan Donahue on Team Humanity. I love, where did the hashtag originally come from, I wonder? All right, we've got Chuck Schumer backs Bernie Sanders. Call for regime change. Plan to force T-Man out of office. Dex, I'm going to let you cover this one. Again, this is something that I know you were kind of on top of.
Well, yeah, Adam, I don't want to dive too deep into it. You guys can go read it. But the one thing that we talked about in the last show was how as we get closer to this big date that's in November, right, all of this craziness is coming out. And again, like this is just, some of the words being used just in this headline alone. So regime change, right? Like this is unprecedented times. It seems like to me. At least
this would never happen
in my lifetime. Yeah. When would this?
When would Hillary say to Joe, saying, even if you lose, do not concede? That's just not an option. They're saying it is not an option. So if he loses, you've got big names saying, no, you're not. We're taking this country over regardless.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
and
crazy.
even on the other side, I get it, because then they look and say, look at T-Man and the rhetoric that's coming from that side. So this environment that's being created is certainly one of a lot of division, but it's also one of a lot of very powerful moves that seem to be playing out right in front of our eyes. And there's so many players and so many options, whether it's, presidents that don't get confirmed, and all of a sudden we're dealing with speakers of the House, if they are confirmed, or if their new ones are promoted to that position, or if we fall back to things like Speaker pro tem of the Senate. I mean, there's like all sorts of scenarios that can be playing out right now over the next 6 months, and this type of rhetoric is really insightful.
They're saying that T-Man won't accept his loss, so they're saying that they're already setting this up. So again, it says Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and other D party leaders claim that U.S. President DT will appear. This is weird footing here. Will appear to win on election night, only to lose once millions of mail-in votes are counted. Isn't that weird that they're saying it like that?
Yeah, it's like a it's
saying, oh, he'll win.
Predictive programming completely.
Mail-in come in, and oh nope, magically the mail-ins are in, and that woman that got buried 7 months ago, she turned the tides for that by one vote. All right. You guys can read. Again, we don't try to go left or right. You guys can make a decision on that one yourself. Go in at marfooglenews.com and click on that story. And that's a whole nother bag right there. Armed T-Man supporters gather near Churchill Downs ahead of Kentucky Derby protests. It says heavily armed pro-T-Man activists and far militia members have gathered near Churchill Downs in Louisville, vowing to protect the city ahead of a day of protests scheduled to kick off during the annual Kentucky Derby. Dozens of men dressed in military gear and armed with semi-automatic were out in force at Cox Park on Saturday after a number of local social justice organizations announced plans to rally over the police of Breonna Taylor. It says a group of self-described, quote, patriots and militia members led by FAR activists identified as the Angry Viking. One thing is they have turned far this and far that. One thing I've noticed, though, is anybody on the right is far. Not all people on the right are far right, and they've turned far right and far left into a horrible thing, right? You're some sort of, creep if you're this or that, or you're some sort of racist or some sort of nut on this side. What happened to the regular people that believed in some of the issues on this side and some of the issues on that side? That's just gone.
Well, yeah, and Adam, how this played out today was I think that these patriots, as many people like to call them, they did their march or they did their thing, and then later in the day, which gets a small footnote in this article, NFAC, which we've talked about before, and I guess there's another group called Until Freedom, were supposed to turn out, and they did. And I don't know what the aftermath, or if there is any aftermath of that. Usually, when it's happened in the past, it's been uneventful. It's just big marches from both sides. But it's, on one hand, as you read this, I was just sort of taken aback by the descriptions that were given here. Obviously, this is a very sided article as opposed to being more of a neutral article.
By the way, if you didn't know what NFAC means, this is actually what they named it. It's 2020. That's where I'll leave that. So as far as, as most of the time I haven't seen, most of it has been pretty chill, except for that last thing. And then, of course, the gentleman who was involved in the Bang Bang with the pro T-Man 600 car march, that man ended up taken out by federal agents in Washington, in Lacey, Washington, around here. So that video went viral, of course. Somebody actually got video of them trying to give him CPR, and it was, he pretty much got wiped out real quick. So, don't know why. I mean, even both sides are basically saying on both sides, you've got people that are not exactly all there. We need peace. We need to stop dividing. We need to start saying, okay, so we believe different things. Let's be friends. Let's go fishing. Just saying. If you guys don't want to be tracked and traced, I highly recommend getting a eDeck bag. eDeck actually sells their product to various agencies. Again, they use these for evidence bags. So if you want to put a laptop or a cell phone of some big bad guy, then they won't be able to remotely wipe it from inside evidence room. Well, for you, the use is really great because no RF anything in or out. So you're talking about going off grid with your phone. The second, doesn't matter if it's on, if it goes in that bag, it literally cuts off from the world. It's gone, it's off grid. No one can track it, no one can get through that bag. The bags are freaking awesome. Now with the geofence technology we talked about last night, where they're actually taking the coordinates after a crime is committed, they go, oh, who was in that area? And they'll find your anonymous data and then turn it from anonymous to, hey, we're at your work. You were at a 7-Eleven today next to a murderer. And now you're getting charged because they don't know where the murderer is. Just saying. If you don't know, watch last night's show. It was actually very interesting. Or, in fact, go to marfooglenews.com and check out that article. What is so cool about the way we have this set up. And I just want to remind you, when you go to the main page, so if I say, hey, watch this specific show, you can go to Out of Nowhere, and then you can scroll down and check this out. You go to the geofence article here. Look at this. Creepy geofence finds anyone who went near a crime scene. And then boom, you've got that article archived on our website. So if you can think of what show it's in, then you can find that news story. Isn't that amazing? Again, really cool. Which reminds me, we have our next caller. Looks like we have Mike, a.k.a. Maui's Racing Realtor. Mike, you can come in now. It looks like we have strange orbs in the sun. Hopefully we don't...
Aloha, Marf.
Hello, Mike from Maui Racing Realtor. What is going on?
Aloha, Marf. How are you tonight?
Aloha. So what do we have here? We have a video or a picture? Or?
Well, I got a couple pictures, but I mean, before that, I just want to say thanks for all you do. I found you when Rents linked your FEMA video. We have our EMP installed. We're fully prepped thanks to you and the Foogle fam. And just wanted to, say, hey, thanks for keeping us in the know so we can stay a step ahead of the rest of them.
Well, it looks like you know something here. So what is this picture from? It looks familiar.
The first one of the sun is from 2012. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner of the picture, you can see the orb. There's an orb kind of in the corona with a tail going down into the sun. There you can see it really good there. In the bottom left, there's actually one behind it. This was a video went around 2012, and nobody really had explanations. Planet X News has talked a lot about those kind of things.
Well, by the way,
I like Wages World. He's a great. Go ahead.
There's a video of this, and it comes up.
Right. This is just a screenshot from the video,
and it is absolutely amazing. When I saw this, I that was one more confirmation in my head that there's something out there, and it's probably drawing power from the sun. But it looked to me to be harvesting from the sun was the what I perceived from it. But I've been showing that to my friends since 2012. But if you look at the next one, the black and white video,
This was on Wages World a week ago, and
Awesome guy.
a black and white picture
Awesome.
on Wages
channel.
World. Yeah, he's for sure, and he puts in a lot of work and doesn't want anything for it. So props to him. But on his video, and I didn't get a hold of him to ask for permission, but you can clearly see this ball moving in towards, like it comes in the frame and is moving, and it stops there at what they've identified as Venus. This is from Stereo A. And then the same little tentacle came down to the planet of Venus. I don't know. It kind of tripped me out a little bit. And this thing's been around our sun hanging out, and now it's venturing out into the solar system. Guess what's past Venus?
That is weird.
I didn't like it, Marv. But I felt like I should share it. That'd be a good reason to turn off all the telescopes on the planet, right? You should all be able to see that.
So I guess, can you, and just in case, I saw at least one person say they're confused on how they're looking at the picture. Can you explain how to look at this? It looks like a contact.
The sun is off to the left. And if you go to Wages World video, is called something, what is connected to Venus was the title of his video from a week ago. And the orb on top of Venus moved in from the left, screen left, where the sun is. And you can see the solar waves and solar stuff coming out from the sun going around this thing. And then it just stops right at the planet. And then a little tentacle comes down. And that's the last I've seen of it. He hasn't updated any of his videos, and I've been checking with him and Planet X. But it stopped there at the planet, and that little tentacle came down. And you can see it very clearly in his video, but I didn't get hold of him to get permission. I didn't think I was going to call, but I decided to call tonight.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
We should try to get a hold of Wages World, or Wages World. I hope you see this. Wages World has watched our show, and you know, we've sent him numerous times people over to his channel, because he used to be Kool-Aid, Blue Kool-Aid, I think. And then Scott Sion is called in.
Right. Yep, I knew him since then.
Scott Sion from Planet X News, he used to call in as well. Again,
yeah, those guys work hard, you know.
What, you know, the one thing about the Planet X and all that kind of stuff is that whole niche has like a lot of beef with each other. Once I had Scott on, I knew that there was somebody else that was talking badly about him and all this, and you know, all the whole crowd, all of YouTube, everybody, it doesn't matter what niche you're in, people fight and divide, and it just, you know, nobody needs that. You know, Scott doesn't need that. Whoever his name is, Wages World, none of us need to be fighting with each other.
Yeah, none of us have the answers. We all have our theories, and we got to listen to each other's theories and see what happens.
Well, exactly, and I think we should. If you guys haven't checked out Planet X News and Wages World, go over and check them out. And then, let's see here. The thing is too, this is just such a weird thing. That tentacle is just so creepy. It puts so many ideas in my head.
It looks very, very similar to what was up at the sun. It looked just like it.
Super, super weird. Super weird. All right, well, thank you. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go, Mike?
Thanks for having me. We had one more strange thing last night. We had a 3.7 earthquake on Maui last night. And that is a very, very rare occurrence. I've been here 12 years. I think we've had 2, and this one was less than a mile from our house, so it really got our attention. But yeah, that's it. And hey, thanks for all you do, and in respect to the time limit, I'll let you get on to the next.
Well, can I ask, did you feel the earthquake?
Oh yeah, it dropped the bed about a foot and a half, rumbled it a couple times. It was quick but abrupt, and it was less than a mile from my house. I never did the measurement, but I know it's less than a mile looking at where it is and where we are.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, our mountain Haleakala is still an active volcano, so let's hope she stays quiet.
Now, are you in the zone? If one of those volcanoes went off, would that possibly put your life in danger?
No. Well, the North Big Island of Hawaii is where Kilauea, Mauna Loa, the very active volcanoes are. Maui has not been active in 400 or 500 years, according to the USGS. But having a 3.7 under your feet is it'll get your attention.
Were you with me long enough to see after we had a 4.1 and our whole house dropped? I went live right after.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. I don't know. If it felt like the bed dropped from under you, but it's freaky.
Exactly like that. My wife does not like earthquakes at all. She's a Denver girl. I brought her out here, and she's experienced a few, and she does not like them.
Well, by the way, if any of my mods, we were on a mod meeting, and I had like all 10 of my mods on the phone, and I was on the phone, and they could hear me scream like a little girl. It was pretty cool. Either way, thank you, Mike, and please let me know if anything crazy happens. Mahalo. All right, that was Maui Racing Realtor. I should have asked him while he was still on there. Obviously, he's a realtor, right? I want to go there and see cool houses. Yeah, I don't think you... man, what a crazy position that would be, selling houses in Hawaii. I have family that has been in Maui and lived on Maui, and God, what a beautiful place. All right, let's go over to the Marfia. Red 1967, Stone Magic. Thank you guys for your support. We've got Gone Girl 777 coming in again. I just wanted to pop in before. We're going to get our next caller on. Next caller, you can pop in. I will pull you in here in just a sec. It looks like up next we actually have Julie, and it is a first-time caller talking about a breaking story. 21 jets have landed in Richfield, Utah, and deep underground military bases. What's up with that? Julie.
Hi. How are you?
Good. So you say that Dave Hodges is breaking something right now, or?
Yeah, Dave Hodges came out with actually 2 reports on the Common Sense Show talking about Richfield, Utah, how from 7 o'clock yesterday afternoon, there have been at least 21 jets landing in Richfield, Utah. And Richfield, Utah is a city of between 5,000 to 8,000 people. Several years ago, an anonymous source gave the city of Richfield enough money to build several runway several airstrips there. Nobody knew why. This city is surrounded by mountains, old gold mines and copper mines, which are perfect for DUMS, those underground tunnel things. Also, Bloomfield, Utah is about 143 miles away, and it is a hotbed for NSA. So you're following your Get Out the Candles header on your show tonight. It looks like something's coming down, because this is only one remote dumb area. So, who knows? But 21 jets have landed within 24 hours. So
that's very concerning, especially in where the location they're landing. This is why, with all the people that are in. This reminds me. I got a letter of some folks. Somebody put on the back of their letter that they were inside. Mount Cheyenne. So I talked about it. There's multiple people. There's not only military leaders are still in Mount Cheyenne, in the biggest bunker, NORAD, all of that. They have it as big as a city in there, and there's other people. So they have actually picked a contingency of people, including non-military and non-government. So they've actually grabbed kind of a Noah's Ark of civilians and put them in Cheyenne Mountain just in case something happens. And one of these people sent me a letter, and they sent it from Colorado and said that they were in there. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is.
That's, there's some serious stuff going on. And again, with 21 jets landing here, you've got all of these, all of the solar observatories down, all of these observatories down, people in Mount Cheyenne and in 2 other locations. It's crazy stuff.
There's a reason why the observatories are down. People need to check out Dr. Claudia Albers' work. She does a lot of the Planet X research. She's a little droll, but very, very informative. She's saying that these objects that you're seeing, like the one that tapped into Venus, the ones that are sucking energy from the sun, they're actually sucking energy from our Earth as well. Goes into explicit detail on it. there's a photo of the Earth where they say it's surrounded by all of this space debris. Well, we've only put about 168 satellites into orbit. Where's all this space debris coming from? It's not debris. These are Planet X cores. They're actually satellite, little like satellite moons or planets from the Planet X system that has been in our solar system for decades. And she goes into extreme detail on how this interactive sucking of the energy of the planets and draining the planets of energy happens. It's really informative.
Well, and now there's one more thing that you wanted to talk about, and does it revolve around Dutch?
Dutch Sense just put out a video. There is a massive, it's got to be a fire or something near Long Valley Caldera in the Mammoth Lake area. There was a comment within the stream. I always look at the comments. That there's over 1,000 people that are stuck up there, and they've actually told them to get into the lake in order to try to get out of this the fire area. So that's all I know on that. But it's a massive fire up there, and what's starting it? Who knows?
Huh, that is very strange. I'm going to look it up right now. They say a massive fire in Mammoth Valley. Mammoth Valley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll look it up. And
it's near Long Valley Caldera area. Mm-hmm.
Again, they talk about the hot spots and the fires and things like that. Well, thank you so much.
Right.
Again, Julie, it's your first
You're
time.
welcome.
It's your first time call. I hope it's not your last. Please, if you see anything crazy, give us a call.
Will do. Thank you. Love what you do.
All right.
Bye.
Bless you. Looks like we had over 4.1 thousand over on YouTube, so thank you guys for all being here. And then on DLive, quite a few. Gone Girl, Okon Kankai. We've got Vibron, Olipop, Johnny Doom. Haven't seen your name all show. I'm glad you made it. Ray Jr., please help the deaf and blind. Okay. I had to see the last one. Please have compassion for those that have handicaps and those that have birth defects. Have compassion. Well, I love that you're using that space for a message like that. That's awesome. I always say, too, people can always do super chats and put famous quotes or song titles or whatever. Coalcracker, an old Marfia fan club badge holder, sends regards to all those DLive and PooTube Fooglers watching Marfoogle with a.k.a. Adam the Great and co-producer technician Dex and Supermods. A big thanks. Speaking of Supermods, Lisa, J-Stone, all of the crew, CJ Blaze, WV, all the fam, thank you guys for all being with us tonight. Over on DLive, April Osborne, and hopefully we have, I can't even remember what Philly Poo, I think it's Philly Poo now. He changed his name. Barefoot Lass, our mods rock. Yes, that is very true. Unstoppable Truth Bernard says, thanks for the show, you guys. Love the Foogle fam. Unstoppable Truth Bernard, thanks for calling in the other night. JV, no one is buying the Dems narrative and makes you wonder, why are they going to such radicalism to take power at any cost? What are they trying to hide, says JV. Jennifer Martinez, thank you for your support. You can always write a message there, or again, song title or a poem or a haiku. Doesn't really matter. But I can actually get to know you. Keith Sabrin, again, thank you for your support there. And then, of course, Ray Jr., again, thank you for putting positive messages up there. Unicorn Forest and Red Butterfly, Renford, Alien 99, lots of new followers tonight over on DLive. Lots of new people popping in left and right. So thank you guys for all following. Daoki Oki, or Taoki Doke, thank you for following. Amy R., thank you for gifting a subscription to Everything Is Nothing. Casper Sparks. Tons of really cool people in DLive and YouTube right now. Let's see. In the regular chat, we've got quite a few regular names. Justice, Roger Paul, and Our Skies Today. I love that name. Sarah B., Shauna May, Doctor Who 0534. Video is messing up, people say. I think I probably know why. Hold on here. Let's see here. All right, hold on here. I just touched a screen that wasn't touchscreen. That was pretty funny. That's a regular monitor. I'm used to my left monitor as touchscreen, and I catch myself trying to touch the other one. Gone Girl once again has moved to the top spot in support tonight. Thank you for supporting independent agency like ourselves. Again, thank you. Gone Girl with almost 7,000 lemons there. And then Techno Gypsy. Looks like Techno Gypsy is actually number 2. Thank you for supporting us. Again, tonight I am having tons of Marf brain farts here. Amy R., thank you as well. Amy R., you are still our top contributor of all time, which is crazy. Absolutely. I mean, you took a month off and you're still our top contributor. So thank you so much for your support, Amy R. Callie Kit Kat, and you didn't take a month off, but you get what I mean. Callie Kit Kat, MRSA 1, Tower Bear, Delta Dawn, Kelly 2334, Texas Rob 49, and Lion's Heart. Lion's Heart on both ends, so thank you guys. Jeff, Saved by Christ, thank you for being here. Matthew Morales, Arma Hill, Epidie, and then we've got Franny Allen over on YouTube. Smoky Mountain Gal, awesome people over there. Gale Firestorm, old school. Robert Ellis, old school. Bones, old school. Bones, my other mod there. Able-bodied, old school. Yabba Dabba, old school. We got all sorts of old school people. Tiggy. We've got End Times on D-Live, old school. I love all of the people that are here every night. Jilly J, Chance Paladin. We've got Stephanie Tanner, Australian Patriot. You guys are freaking awesome. It's awesome that I see all of these names every single night. It really does turn into quite a fam. A Forrest Gump would say it happens, says Tower Bear. That's awesome. All right, Dex, you have... do you have anything to close on other than what's going on?
Well, there's a holiday coming up, and when holidays happen, a lot of times they're used for other things. So I think what you used to say was head on a swivel, pay attention,
be safe, be prepared. Be safe, be prepared. Can the chat help me out here? What's the last part? Be safe, be prepared. Man, what was it? Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. Now it's time officially. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to the people that matter most, you guys. And to a big thank you, Veteran Steve, thank you for joining us on Patreon. You and Pam, again, Gone Girl, everybody else that's been here tonight, I love all you guys. You guys got, we're making a special end screen for you guys. So thank you so much. As well, it is time for us to go.
Gonna bring it back now. Gonna love the vibrone. Gonna go with the super clone. Sean Shabby and the Sean Shabby. Gonna go all the way down to no law. Your farm too and the reading of gospel. Linda Fashion and I'm gonna get Oscar though. sure you got some Kleenex. Hit it on the back, hood and tie. Verb analyze, heart rise. And the licks it out, go on the Dixie door. A zero turned on the peg, now 11:30. Ain't gonna bring it back down, and you know it high. Gonna bring the mama and the Kelly eye. Kelly too, but it fall. Gonna bring it down to more. Piece of wild girls and a bang of 54. WWGWG. Hey, gonna bring it back now. Gonna bring it back down. Gonna bring it back down. She's a shifter and I'm gonna bring it back down. Veronica Powers, mom of 9. Austin and Patriot, Teresa friends. I'ma go round and down like everybody runs. They turn that nothing. Yeah, stuff. I let it gonna bring it back now. Uncle Eddie gonna be 2 peas in a pot. Gonna go down like Chuck off on Brown. Gonna do everything. Got your Johnson, I'ma bring it down. Australian Patriot getting down. Got the gun up. I like to say hello, Bingo 54, doing everything now. Hey, peaceful waters in the Johnny Doom. I got D-Life 420 raised lime 2 in the Dana F and the wrist right. Gonna bring it down like you know right. What the heck is going on? They just wanna go home. They just wanna go home. They just wanna go home.
Number 1. Luckiest followers tonight. The chest just popped with 1.6 thousand lemons in it. Gone Girl got 157 back. Lion's Heart got 91. Texas Rob, 49, got 66. Johnny Doom got 52. Just for sitting here, dude. And Tall Drink of Water was number 5 with 44.
Everybody gonna go down. Everybody really wanna go down. Gonna bring it down like an internet. But you said I'm gonna do it all the way. And everybody able. Gonna hit it, hey. Gonna walk down like your proper cheap thing. Hey, Susan B. Slide Sarah B, I'm the sunshine bee and the Mr. Meat. I'm gonna go with Smoky Mountain Gal. I see a big star by the moon in Florida. High Marfoogle gonna get those great tunes with a cool hand. I'm gonna do it like a giant. Meteor in the sky with red and batty. I'm gonna bring it down like everybody knows. And the yabba dabba gonna bring it back up. Oh, oh, oh. I knew Gonna go back down, gotta go back now. With Jeremy, gonna rap it. Gonna get sweet mama and their clock. And gonna go down to the drama. Scrappylicious in the barefoot lash. Going down like Mr. No Pass. Congrats, Stormy 73 on beautiful baptism. I love Eagles in the one on B and Mr. Rat and Yabba Dabba B and everybody want to go and see. Y'all drink water and EMP. Just on the ground with the pole shaking. They just wanna go home. They just wanna go home. They just wanna go home. I wish I could go back now. Going on the back now. Cali Kit Kat and the Mo Cowbell. And I'm gonna go tippy toe right past Carabelle. I'm gonna do everything I can. Sunshine Bee is all I am. And cheeky lady and Australian. Patriot and the gypsy cat. Gonna go back and now I say. Reading the gospel of today. They just wanna go home. They just wanna go home. Techno gypsy, I appreciate you. And everybody now, I'm gonna say goodnight. Gonna say bye. Gonna say goodnight. Gotta get thank you for being here tonight, Joe. I love big hours. Gonna go. they're taking us our freedoms away? I think I've got something for that.
Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. 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 Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back.
Cheeky lady and the magical mistress, sunshine bee and a misty fade. I love Jesus forever, never gonna wait. Gonna bring it back and now we sway from left to right with the Jilly J. Gonna go with Leonard Day up in G. Gotta go see everybody leaving with Psycher.
Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that, raise that, raise that, raise that. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back.
One on B and you've got to see Sarah B and Gone Girl Savage. Tall drink of water in the Sarah B. Hey Kelby, on here. Gonna do it like B.O.D. Gonna do it like B.O.D. I've got a Dixie dough and a Neo Anderson underneath. And I'm gonna bring JD20. A JD20. Just like my buddy Tim Owens, going down and drinking a Collins. Gonna go back round and run my calling. I'm about to do it back like I'm a Owen. Scrappylicious, oh so delicious. Glow white and that goes to be. I'm gonna be right there with OM Nurse and Sunshine Bee. Cool land and elevators. Gonna back and you gotta get this to the Jilly J. And I love Foogle and the Gone Girl 7 techno gypsy with the MER. And I got to go jump in the car and gotta go see. Everybody knows that the Tower Bear is gonna dig me up and know we care. We love you so much and now we're gonna go right back until we out with Cali Kid Cat and we get in the back of the old Mercer One. Delta Dawn and the Mercer One, thank you for being so much fun. I really appreciate you and me hanging out with Big Kelly 2334 and Texas Rob 49 and Lions Heart and more. I love the way that you all be hanging and now I kick back that beat again.
Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back.
Then Donna, gonna go back, gonna bring it back on like I got that gun. Ain't no gonna back down, no from nobody. I'm gonna do it like Ned on the Rose. Ha ha ha. Oh oh oh, I hey oh oh I hey ah oh oh I hey ah oh.
Our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want 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 our freedoms back.
Hi hi hi, ha ha, hidey hi. I said hidey ho, ha ha ho 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 ho.
Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. freedom's back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, we want our freedoms back. Someday we're gonna have to stand up for ourselves and not take any more hell. Hey, Tower Bear, are you gonna be aware right behind me with that flag and that set of drums? It will take all of us going and standing. We're gonna have to make most amends. And if they bring guns, we bring guns. Gonna go back and yeah, we get none. We're gonna go and cause some havoc. If they try to take us down, we go up and now we get up back to Adam. I'm about to bring it back like we want our freedoms back. Raise that flag, 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 we want our freedoms back. Sarah B. Sean Murray. We're right back and you want me. Gonna go down like a Neo. Gonna get the face up like the Ambio. Rock out. Bones with a Z. Glow white. Misty fade. Therapy late. Therapy late. Relay. Brayley. EOD vet and LZ Townsend. Darling, save us. The dark god, Creation. Thank you. Have a good night. About time that we know.
CPAP Cyborg, thank you so much for having a good night tonight. Brayley, Gone Girl, Techno Gypsy, Amy R. Thank you for being in the top 3. Tower Bear, Kelly, Kit Kat, Mercer 1, Delta Dawn, Kelly 2334, Texas Rob, and of course Lionheart. Trip E, thank you so much for your multiple supports tonight. I need to find like-minded people in Colorado Springs area to teach me how to prep. Love the show. Shout out to the Marfoogle fam. Well, Trippy, you were in the right place for that. Future Fields Forever, I appreciate. Says no hate, no anger, love, and forgiveness. Sean Murray, thank you for your support tonight. Fernando Masonette, you and Dex are doing a great job. Been watching for the last 3 years, and your show only gets better and better. Ray Jr., John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but will have everlasting life. Rosemarie Kepler, thank you for following. Craig Leonard, thank you for following. Christian Moore says, happy day for me. Saw kids for a minute today. Smile for the little things, don't dwell on them. I'm super happy for you, Christian. I know how that can go. C. Marie, thank you for your support tonight. You can always write something with that. Teresa Wrench. I am feeling better. Day 3 of antibiotics. Nasal infection status confirmed.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool. If I learned about roaches, I learned about kids jumping on my lap. If I learned about roaches, I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. I'm going to be Joe Biden. I'm going to be Joe Biden.
Gonna rock it, gonna back go, gonna back down. Gonna do it like I do, gonna bring it back down.
I hope you all had a fun time tonight. Gone Girl Techno Poco Loco Gem Jobin Nosisin. I'm bringing it, I'm reading it, I'm doing it tonight and every night. I'm gonna bring it. I did not have relations. Oh, you're not asking me? Oh, okay. I just assumed. I did not smoke. Wait, I didn't go on the plane. I did not have plane relations with that plane. No. I had nothing to do with that Arkansas. Okay, I did smoke. I smoked weed, but I didn't do what Hillary did. Okay, I had relations with Monica Lewinsky. Somebody over on D-Live, you better show them love. We're hosting somebody that we don't host. So remember, if you don't like the show after it hosts, then just mute.